What's up guys, Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this we'll be going over what I believe to be the top 10 current Fortnite units you should farm starting in December 3rd, 2017. Now, if you guys do want to know exactly what the best Fortnites are used of all time, this is not a video for that. This list is primarily to help people who are like level 150 and below, help you build a lot more teams if you're really suffering in certain categories or missing certain components to make those perfect teams. What I find a lot of times is like I'll talk to a player and that player will be like, hey, I really love that team you made, but I'm missing this unit. And I'm like, you know what? That sucks. I get it, man. That's horrible. I mean, I felt that feeling too. It's like, oh, I can make that team, but I'm missing this unit. So the thing with free-to-play units in this game is like, hey, there's all these other units that you can pull from that you should have been farming in the past, that you can use these units and then use them on your rare recruit teams just to fit them in the nice spot niches that you have. So we're going to be going over a couple different Fortnite units that I believe to be really useful in many different situations. And if you have their upgraded versions already through rare recruits or whatever, then that would be fine. Use those instead. This is to help players who are like 150 and below who are not like super wailing in the game, trying to play free play, whatever, and just build out their accounts a little bit better to make them a little bit stronger over time. Now, some of these users will be replaced, so just know that you will have replacements when you get rare recruits later on. These units will help you get to that point. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit the like button down below as well as the subscribe button down below, just so we can get lots of support on the channel. And if you guys do want to get notifications every time I drop a video, make sure you guys hit that bell notification down below right next to the subscribe button so you guys get notifications every time I drop one. Without further ado, let's go into the list of the top 10 Fortnite units. Now with the fake out, it wasn't really Tashigi. We're going to go over the first Fortnite unit, which is going to be Smoker from the Tashigi Fortnite Shambles Fortnite. Now Smoker is actually a super useful unit for one fight and one fight only. You only need one copy of this unit. One copy and one copy only. Now the reason this unit is super useful is he does something where for his special, he is going to, for slasher characters, randomize all non-matching orbs. Who cares? But he's going to swap this unit with your captain for 2 turns. Now, this is the only free-to-play character in the entire game that is going to swap to your captain. Now, this is a very useful ability for one fight, and that's for the Raid Fujitora 60 stamina fight. If you have this unit, you can actually use this Fortnite unit in order to swap to your captain, and so that unit gets knocked out. When the unit leaves when the unit gets the special ability wears off, then the captain, your original captain, will come back to the spot, and the unit that will be knocked out will be this Smoker Tashigi character. Now, the Smoker Tashigi Fortnite also drops looks like some 5+ Nami books, drops Izo books, Lucci books, Caesar books, Baby 5, I think it's Story Mode Magellan, Kuzan books for the Legend book, which is really useful. 6+ Kuzan is one of the most useful units in the game. G5 Smoker, which is very ironic because that is the unit that replaces Tashigi Smoker. And it's going to also drop Bastille books. I'd say, of course, the most useful books out of here would have been a long time ago was the Quick Lucci books, which we were pretty happy about to get. But Caesar is definitely the most useful on this one, besides Kuzan. And the second most useful was Story Mode Magellan. Third most useful, I'd say, besides Legend books, of course, is the G5 Smoker. The G5 Smoker is actually a really useful unit that will replace this unit. What the strategy is you basically just use Smoker Shambles Tashigi or G5 Smoker on turn 4 of Fujitora fight to change this unit into your captain, kill the room, and then go into the boss room. They'll knock out your captain, which will be Tashigi Shambles or G5 Smoker, and then your captain will rotate back to your normal captain. So, very useful unit for that one fight. The next unit on the list we have is going to be Toy Soldier. Now, Toy Soldier is an extremely good unit for many different fights. What happens a lot in the game at later levels is that you get bound or despaired or silenced or you get block orbs or whatever for 4 turns. And a lot of the characters that you'll bring, if you bring, like, you get a 1-turn silence or like things like, or like a 4-turn Divine or a 4-turn Despair. And it's kind of annoying. You're like, what the heck do I do with that? So the thing with this Toy Toy Soldier character is that this is a character that you do want to max. He's going to max start at 14 turns and go down to 6 turns. You can use him multiple times in one fight, which makes him very useful. But if you don't want to max him and you don't want to get like all the sockets on this character, totally fine. You can just get 1 copy, and 14 turns is totally fine to just run with. Toy Soldier is a very versatile unit that has very low HP at 1552, very high attack at 1300 attack with 300 recovery. Very good unit there. Now he's also a pretty good striker captain, which is really interesting. He is a 2.5 times striker captain and increases damage received by 1.5. That part sucks, but the 2.5 times damage, if you're just gonna like go all in on one guy, that's not bad. That's not a bad captain. All right, that's okay. That's okay. He's going to have 4 sockets as well, which is really, really nice. Many Fortnite units only have like 2 or 3 sockets, and I think this was one of the first units that came out that had 4 or 5 sockets for any Fortnite unit, which is really, really nice. I like this a lot. And if you're looking for a really easy unit to farm, this is that unit. Also, little known fact, this unit sockets Kairos. So if you're looking for free Kairos sockets or really cheap Kairos sockets, you can do that. It's great. What was really funny was the reason I know it will socket Kairos is because you cannot use Toy Soldier and Kairos on the same team. I've never tried to feed one to the other, but you can't use them on the same team, so I'm pretty sure they socket each other. If they don't, then Bandai, you messed up. You messed up. His special ability is going to reduce paralysis, bind, and despair, and silence by 1 turn, which is really, really useful for many, many different situations. Sometimes you just get that 1 turn of paralyzed, or that 1 turn of silence, or that 1 turn of bind, or that 1 turn of despair. That just makes, like, if you had a utility unit, your team would be perfect. And this is a very short cooldown unit with 4 sockets, decent attack to use. So definitely on my recommended list at number 9, we have Toy Soldier. Cut. All right. Oh wait. Now the books we have for this Fortnite are going to be 6+ Lucci books, Monet books, Thick Sheety books, and the rest is garbage. Now, Thick Sheety kind of useful. Lucci books is probably the main reason you would want to farm this Fortnite if you're like farming it for like skill books. The Monet books are very, very useful getting that cooldown. I think down to 9 turns when she fully maxes. And Thick Sheety starts at a very high cooldown, so bringing her cooldown low is really, really nice. So, all right. So the next unit we have on the list is going to be King Dew. Now, King Dew is a really not used unit, but he's very useful. The reason he's useful is because there are a lot of things in the game that are very, very annoying. One of them is poison. And the thing is, there are a few poison reducers in the game that are free to play. There's the, what are they called? The dugongs. The dugongs are the free to play OG poison removers. But this King Dew character is actually the newer version of those characters and has much higher stats, much higher. He has 2000 HP with 1300 attack and is a crappy captain. He also has a sailor ability that makes recovery orbs beneficial for this unit if your captain is a powerhouse character, which is pretty good. It's not terrible, it's okay. But the main reason you wanted this unit is because he removes poison. Yeah, it maxes out at 14 turns, which is great. And he also has a side benefit. If you're below 30% HP when the special is activated, you get a 1.5 powerhouse boost, which can be good too. Definitely a very, very good unit. Now, the other units on this Fortnite can be used to socket, say, your Haruta, if you want to go hot socket Haruta. Not really know why. Spijuru, Toadski, number 1. Atmos, whatever. To be honest, I would actually not even socket these rare recruit units with these units. I would actually farm these units for themselves. I've had certain situations where I was trying to make weird teams, and Jiru was useful for certain teams. Atmos was useful for certain teams, and I didn't have him farm. Haruta was useful for certain teams, didn't farm him. And I actually kind of regretted not having those units fully maxed out or things like that. So definitely think about using those units in the future, and build out your box to have those units. Don't feed these to the rare recruit versions because the rare recruit versions are pretty bad right now. The books out of this Fortnite are going to be 5+ Usopp, 3-Day 2-Way Robin, Corazon, Story Mode Aokichi, It's going to have your Cobra book. So if you do need that Rare Recruit Cobra book, I never farmed that. The most important book of the entire thing, over the Legend book even, is going to be the Timeskip Sanji book. So most of you are going to be farming this for your Timeskip Sanjis anyway, so if you do want to farm this, make sure you guys farm out the King Dew as well. Now the next unit on the list is not Kid or that fire guy, whatever his name is. I don't remember his name. But is going to be this little known character called Wire. Now Wire has crap all stats. I was like, oh, this character sucks. I don't want to wait. What does he do? What? Now my reaction when I found out what he did was like, oh man, this guy's actually really good. I kind of want to farm him. And then the Fortnight was just out, so I kind of was like, oh crap, I wish I had farmed him. But then I was like, you know what? I have another character that replaces it. And what this character does is it adds 0.3 to the chain multiplier for 1 turn, and also reduces the defense of characters by 50%, which is really useful. Like, to have a defense reducer and a chain booster in the same unit, very useful unit. So I could definitely see you using this character on like a striker team or a driven team or whatever you need, just to get that little mini chain boost and get the defense reduction so you can trigger a conditional. See how the Dex Cavendish is a conditional character. Sorry, a conditional base character based off defense reduction, and he is driven. You can fit him on a team. And since Wire is also a striker, you could use him with Boa Marigold on a striker team to get that other boost, as well as getting your chain boost there. So definitely an interesting unit. Really bad stats in this unit. Super easy to farm. But very interesting. I didn't know this. Like I didn't know this before. Like looking into these units today, and this unit is actually pretty good. The books in this Fortnight are going to be Godusat books, Strength, Hercule, and Mancherry books. Everything else is pretty crap for units that are not useful anymore. The Mancherry books probably being the #1 thing there. You're probably just going to be farming this just because you need Godusat books, or if you need the Strength Hercule books. Most of the time people are maybe even farming for Mancherry books, but Mancherry's on like 3 different points, so you may not be farming it for that. Definitely a good unit to farm. So I have him at number 6 on my list. This character is really interestingly good. However, it is instantly replaced by the Rare Recruit Elizabeth on Free Spirit and Fighter teams for the Dex version Elizabeth, who reduces defense by 100% and will boost the chain by 0.5. So definitely replaced by that unit, but this unit will be useful for the other versions of these teams. The next unit on this list is going to be Mad Monk Arouge. Now, Mad Monk Arouge is a very new unit that introduced to the game, and he is possibly one of the best zombie captains in the game, if the best zombie captain in the game. I'm not really sure. His stats are very high for a zombie unit. It's going to be boosting your HP by 2,000 and boost your attack by 1,311. Now, what's really annoying about this character is that he's Free Spirit. Oh, he would be so much better if he wasn't Free Spirit and he was like Striker Fighter or something like that. Oh, he would be so much better if he wasn't Free Spirit. The main reason that's bad is because you can only use non-powerhouse characters to this unit, and seeing how it's a striker, a lot of strikers and powerhouse are of the same mind, so you can't use a lot of those units, which really stinks. However, in general, he is a pretty good unit to farm, even without his captain ability. If you were going to use him as a zombie captain, he's pretty good. But the main reason I think he's useful is because of his special. Now, his special is going to boost the attack of striker characters by 1.5. If in that turn you score 4 or more perfects, you're actually in the following turn going to boost the attack of striker characters by 1.75. This is really useful for when a boss does a what's it called? Get rid of all debuffs mechanic, like in the Raizo fight when Colosseum Raizo dies, he's going to remove all buffs once he dies, and even if that happens, if you scored 4 perfects, you're still going to get your 1.75 or your 2 times boost in the next turn. It's also useful on say Raid Sanji when you have to hit 4 perfects in a row and you have to bring a type boost into the room. That's super useful for that. So this is a free-to-play unit that does a similar thing for striker teams. Very good unit. I very much like the special in this unit. He would definitely be higher ranked on the list if his captain ability, if his class was not Free Spirit. Such a good unit, but man, that stinks. The books you can farm this Fortnight are going to be Jesus Burgess, the strength version. I don't really like Jesus Burgess. I mean, he's okay. Then it's going to be Shiryu, The oh god, Fisher Tiger, which is like super good. Magellan, and of course Bon Clay. Now all of those are really useful units, except for Burgess. Who cares about Burgess? For certain situations. The only thing that is not super useful is Bon Clay. I haven't seen a situation where you need to remove all positive buffs in a while, but if it does occur, then this may be a useful unit in the future. We'll see. The next unit on the list we have here is going to be Wet Hair Caribou, which is from the next generation. Now, Wet Hair Caribou is actually a super strong unit, and was definitely underrated by a lot of people early on. And a lot of people didn't farm him because they didn't really see the value. But let me go over what Caribou does. Caribou is going to be a 1.5 driven captain that deals 4 times character attack and dex damage at the end of every turn. Who cares? Here's why he's useful. Reason number 1. He has 1600 HP, but he has 1400 attack on a Fortnight unit. That's nuts. That's really high. Number 2 reason he's awesome. He has a sailor ability that is so good. His sailor ability is when any other character uses a special, reduces his own cooldown by 5 turns. So you're gonna start with 16 turns. You probably want at least 1 skill up on this character, if not 6 skill ups, and max it. So that means in one turn, you could possibly use this character multiple times, which is great. And the reason it's great is because this character boosts the attack of driven characters by 1.5, awesome, but also reduces enemy threshold damage reduction and attack up duration by 3 turns. So if an enemy had, say, 5 turns of attack up, or 5 turns of threshold reduction, or let's say 4 turns of threshold reduction, you could remove 4 turns of threshold reduction, or 6 turns of attack up in 1 turn by using the specials in the right order. Even more than that, actually. Can you do 9? So you use Caribou, and then you use 2 specials, and then Caribou, and then 2 more. Yeah, you can use it 3 times. You use it 3 times in 1 turn. You can use it 3 times in 1 turn. That's crazy. So you could potentially use Caribou in 3 times in 1 turn, make sure so you move up to 6 turns of threshold damage reduction and up to 9 turns of attack up in 1 turn. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really cool. I like that unit a lot. It's a very fun unit to use. Very high attack. Very interesting unit overall. The books to farm out of this are going to be Whitey Bay books for that 1.3 delayed booster, Thick Ski books, Blackbeard for Legend Blackbeard, and Sai Jinbei, as well as Int Hannibal. Int Hannibal is a really interesting unit that I've never been able to use because I don't have it. Like I always wanted to use them with my Magellan, and I wonder how they're damaged. But for those of you who do have them, tell me how it is. I want to know. The next unit on the list we have is from the Wano Samurai Fortnight for number 4 on the list. Yeah, number 4 on the list we have Foxfire Kinemon. Now, Foxfire Kinemon, if you did not know, is a pretty good unit. Like, for a lot of people that need ore boosters, this is a great unit, and he's a decent captain. He's going to boost the attack of free spirit characters by 2.25 and their HP by 1.25, and also reduce the damage incoming by 15%. Overall, that's maybe TS Luffy. Like, if you don't know about TS Luffy is a 2.5 captain. I think he also boosts HP by 1.2, and then also reduces HP by 15%. So his stats are like almost the same as TS Luffy when you don't have the TS Luffy special buff. So that's pretty cool. His Sailor ability is going to boost the attack of free spirit characters by 25, which is nice. It's a nice little mini boost there. And his special is going to deal 20 times character attack and int damage to 1 enemy, as well as amplifying the orb effect of free spirit characters by 1.75. And the fact that you get a 1.75 orb boost on a free spirit team is really nice. You don't have some of the other free spirit orb boosters, all of which are the rare recruit or invasion. So very useful unit to have there. There are some. I think there's a free spirit farm orb booster, right? I can't think of it right now. Anyways, besides this guy. Now, he's going to have 2,000 HP with about 1245 attack, which is decent. It's totally fine to have on many different teams. And it's definitely not a difficult Fortnite to complete. However, the books that are on this Fortnite are kind of good. There's only like 4 I'd say 4 useful books on this Fortnite. It's got a lot of really old books. The useful books on this Fortnite are going to be Haruka for some speed teams, Croc Moria, and Sanji. So if you are trying to farm out your Striker Mr. Zero Croc version, or you're trying to farm out your Sanji books, which most people are going to be farming this Fortnite for, or even trying to farm out your Moria, this is a great Fortnite for that. Haruta, you probably already farmed them out. If you didn't farm them out, this is a great opportunity to get your Haruta books out here, just to get them out of the way. Haruta is actually kind of a nice character for certain teams because he has that special cooldown reduction that he has, as well as the AoE he does. The next unit on the list is going to be Scratchman of Pooh and X Drake. Now, Scratchman of Pooh and X Drake are Scratchman of Pooh, not Scratchman of Pooh, X Drake. Scratchman of Pooh comes out of the Scratchman of Pooh and X Drake Fortnight, which is the Supernova of Pooh and Drake Fortnight. Both of which are very good units. However, the X Drake, even though he is a 1.3 affinity booster, I would say is less useful for newer players. It's definitely going to be more useful for endgame players, but less useful for newer players. So that's what the main purpose of this list is, and that's why he's not in here. And the same goes for the Hawkins that was in the other Fortnite. Now I was just trying to gear this list toward newer players and help them out. So number 3 on the list is going to be Scratchman of Pooh. Now Scratchman of Pooh, since we already went over a free spirit character, let's go over another free spirit character that would actually be very, very useful for many different people. Now this character is going to be a captain that boosts attack of free spirit characters by 2 times at start of chain, 2.5 after the 3rd perfect, and 3 times after the 5th perfect. This is actually a very, very good captain build for free spirit characters. It's actually going to not beat Sabo, Legend Sabo's captain ability, but it's going to be pretty close. It's pretty close. You would not believe how close that is in damage between Legend 6 plus Sabo and this character. You would not believe. It's crazy. Obviously, Sabo has a higher attack value and a better attack multiplier, but this unit does somewhat rival Legend Sabo. Not Lucy, but Legend 6 plus Sabo, which is really weird as a Fortnite unit goes. But hey, what are they gonna do? 3 times after the 5th perfect is actually extremely good. 2.5 on the couple hits beforehand, but the 3 times hit is gonna back end your damage, kind of like Legend Lucci or Legend's version 1 Law does. And it puts like about 40-50% of your damage in that last hit, which is really, really cool. And because of that, if you're getting all your perfects, you're going to get tons and tons of damage off that last hit. Now, Captain Multiplier increase here is very, very, very strong. You may think that since it starts out at 2 times, you can start getting perfects. I understand. But this is actually pretty good. It's probably going to be about 20% less than Legend Sabo. But overall, that's still pretty good as a Fortnite unit goes. It's really good. His special ability is going to be amplifying the orb effect of free spirit characters by 1.5 and boosting the attack of free spirit characters by 1.5 for 1 turn. So it's a very similar special to the Striker Croc character for Mr. Zero, but doesn't have that nice sailor ability to go along with it. And it does max at 13 turns. So if you are looking for a free spirit booster for killing, like say, a rare Room 4 of a Coliseum, or if you just want to get 2 characters on your team for that, and then put in some other orb manipulation in your free spirit team, or just trying to work in some other units that you need to put in for utility, then you can do that in your free spirit teams because of having this unit. Very, very good unit for that. Now the books you can farm in this Fortnite are going to be Van Arger books, Doc Q books, Log Kid books, Nekomamushi, which is probably what most of you guys are farming this Fortnite for, and the new Impel Down Ivanka, this first Fortnite for that. So that is going to conclude number 3 on the list. Let's go into number 2. So the number 2 unit to farm for newer players is going to be this Princess Shirahoshi. Now, Princess Shirahoshi is a very, very good unit that no one ever uses because everyone has the rare recruits that are better, but that's totally fine. Now, she is an extremely strong unit if you're missing certain things in the game. For late game players, this is probably not going to be a good unit for you. For early game players, if you're missing these things, it is a really good unit for you. So the thing that she does is she's going to have very low attack, very low HP, but is going to reduce Bind, Despair, and Paralysis by 2 turns. Also, is going to reduce damage taken by 70% for 1 turn. It's really useful for any time you need to remove Bind, Despair, or Paralysis, and reduce damage on a death hit. So if a character is trying to kill you, does a death hit where they you clear the room and then they die, and you need to soak the hit, this is a great unit to soak that death hit for. Unfortunately, she is only a Striker, so she can't be used on that. She could have been used on the Powerhouse version of the Kai Kinemon if she was a powerhouse. Obviously, she'll never be a powerhouse, but hey, that's an example of how she could have been used if she could have been brought to that raid. Very, very good unit overall for utility units. Now, utility units, a lot of people don't find as hype about those other units, but it is utility units are going to make or break your account as you progress into the mid game as well as late game. So trust me on this one. This is actually a super, super useful unit. I'm going to put it at number 2. Now, the books you can farm out of this Fortnite are going to be Psylaw, Icaros, Diamante, the dude with the teeth. What's his name? I can't remember. Daruma, I think it is. I think it's Daruma. Daruma, and the last one is not the Funk Brothers, but Abdullah G. So those are the useful books that you can farm out of this Fortnite if you need any of those. Now, most of you are probably going to be farming this for your Icaros books, Diamante books, maybe even your V1 Law books, depending on what you need, or your Daruma books. So all of those are really useful utility and damage for some characters. So definitely farm that for those if you are going to do it. This is one of the units that you definitely should not be feeding to your Legend Shiroshi. You should actually save this and farm this unit for itself. So the number 1 Fortnite unit is Wicca! You would not believe how often you use this unit. I use this unit like so freaking often. It is insane how much I use this unit. Now, there are 3 main reasons I use this unit. First, it has 8 combo hits or something like that, right? Yeah, 8 combo hits. Really, really nice for Bucky team or whatever. Super useful unit! Number 2 reason. It has a 3-tiered special. Number 1 tier is a 3-turn cooldown that does 6 fixed damage. What has 6 HP? Like, everything. All those super low HP units. Super useful. So and if you don't even max her, it starts at 9 turns. Really amazing. Number 2 stage special. 15 fixed damage to all enemies and recovers 3 times character HP. Who cares about that? Number 3 does 300 times fixed damage to all 300 fixed damage to all enemies and boosts color affinity of fighter and free spirit by 1.25. You would not believe how useful it is to have a super, super low cooldown fixed damage unit. It helps you clear all other Fortnites that have that super annoying stage really quickly. It helps you clear raids that have that super annoying stage really quickly. It's awesome. You would not. I was very like on the fence on who to pick for number 1, but I'm picking Wicca because Wicca I use the most because she is so useful. Fixed damage on a short cooldown, awesome, amazing, nothing wrong with it. Now, the books you're gonna farm out of this Fortnite are of course going to be you're gonna farm Leo sockets out of this Fortnite if you need them for your new Rare Recruit Leo or your old Rare Recruit Leo, depending on what you have. You're gonna farm not the new Boa Marigold, sorry. This is old Fortnite. This is old Story Mode Marigold. Sorry, that's not the right one. So Fujitora. That's it. Sucks. You can do it for 5+ Luffy, I guess, if you want to, and Elizabeth. But mainly Fujitora. Everything else is pretty crap. I mean, Orbums really want to if you want to make some meme teams, but for the most part, you're just be farming these for your Fujitora books. Well, guys, I'm Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. And of course, whatever you do. Peace.